My dear friends, together with our prayer for the well-being, for the safety, security of our soldiers, of our hostages, they should all come free home, and we should all be released already from this exile. Let us together just give tzedakah and join me in a little thought. Parsha of this week starts with the word V'hoya Eikev Tishma'un. Eikev meaning the heel. In other words, many explanations to that, but it means that Tishma'un, the listening to the words of Hashem, should permeate the person not just intellectually, but all the way down to the Eikev, all the way down to the person's heel. The entire person should be affected by this which he hears. Talking about hearing, obviously this brings to mind the famous line that we say a number of times during the day, Shema-Hear Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema-Hear O Israel, God is our God, God is one. In the word Shema, which is spelled Shin Mem Ayin, and is written as the usual script in the Torah, or for that matter even the print in the Chumash or the Siddur, you'll notice that the Ayin, the third letter of the Shema, is bigger than the rest of the letters. Many explanations are given to that, because this is not just a matter that, design purposes, because in the Torah everything is precise. There is a message in the fact that the letter Ayin is larger, bolder, bigger than the rest of the letters. And it's also connected, as I just said, to your Eikev, because Eikev is spelled with an Ayin, and Tishma'un, listen. So let's focus for a moment on that letter Ayin, which is, as I said, bigger than the rest of the letters. The number Ayin, which corresponds to 70, has very many concepts. First of all, let's look historically. We remember the story of the Tower of Babel, where the people were going to revolt and fight God. What did God do? While until then they all spoke one language, Hebrew, Lashon HaKodesh, the godly language, the language in which God created the world and communicated with mankind, gave the Torah eventually, and so on. God just dispersed them. How so? Suddenly they all spoke a different language. And those builders couldn't communicate anymore. And it created chaos, destruction, and the Tower of Babel never took place. How many languages? 70. Those are the 70 languages from which at that time the 70 nations became. Because we know God says there are 70 nations, Shivim Umas Olam, 70 nations. We have more than this today, but these are derivatives, so to say, descendants of these original 70 nations, which started with the 70 languages. Yosef, before he became king, the angel Gabriel came and taught him those 70 languages, which this gave him an edge above Pharaoh, who was not familiar with those 70 languages. We know that when Yaakov came to Egypt, after he found out that his son Yosef is Mishnah Lemelech, is the viceroy in Egypt, it says, B'shivim nefesh yoda v'secha mitzraymo. 70 souls, 70 individuals came down to Egypt. In fact, Moshe Rabbeinu, when he had to choose his court of judges, there it says in the Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu chose 70 elders, lishpoit esa'am, to judge the people. There is also an interesting medrash that says that God has 70 names, the Torah has 70 names, Am Yisrael has 70 names, Jerusalem has 70 names. We also have within Torah Shivim Ponim La Torah. We can interpret it, every subject in Torah with 70 basic approaches. In the Beis Hamikdash, on Sukkot, they would offer 70 bulls for the benefit of the 70 nations. In Tehillim we say, Yemei Shnosecha Shivim Shana. Lifespan is 70. So let's go back quickly. What is 70? 70 represents 10 times 7, meaning the 7 emotional qualities that a person possesses, times 10, which is the 10 Sefirot, which makes up the spiritual DNA of a person, and our task is to perfect these 70 qualities. 70 is also related to Mashiach. Mashiach is coming from 770. May he come today.